All right, hey everybody. It is the 18th of June, 2024. This is Mesh PBL live coding from Gimbalabs and Friends. I'm hanging out with Chris and Nelson, and just wanted to take this space today to provide an update to the Intersect community. Gimbalabs received a grant from Intersect to keep Dandelion running for another year as a free community service and to update it for the Conway era. And so as of today, we just launched this new site right here. It's Dandelion Intersect Prototype.andamio.io. And this is a prototype of the Andamio contributor platform. You can see that the full grant has been deposited in a treasury here. We received 70,000 ADA from Intersect. I just tested it, so the first transaction has already gone out, but we'll be using this over the next few days, and I wanted to give a quick demo right now. So Andamio is building a platform for learners and contributors, and what's going live right now is a course platform. And so people are already able to start the Mesh PBL course, the Plutus Project-Based Learning 2024 course, or to start learning about what we're building with Andamio. As we continue to roll out the course platform, where we're going is an integrated experience where people can build a course so that people can learn the knowledge and skills they need to become contributors to projects. And once people are contributing to projects, we need a space to manage that as well. And so that's what this prototype is. If you're part of Gimbalabs, you've already seen a version of this for some Gimbalabs funds that we got from Project Catalyst. Now, with these Intersect funds, we'd like to use it and build up both the governance and just the operational effectiveness to deliver on this grant. So we're going to play with this contributor platform. We know that eventually it's going to be integrated with the rest of the Andamio platform. And we get to decide together how to use part of these funds. Now, on the plan page right here, you can see what we intend to do. Part of the funds are dedicated to Gimbalabs co-founder Roberto Marano, who's going to keep Dandelion running as a free community service. And he's also in the process of upgrading all of the Dandelion endpoints for the Conway era. These changes are already live on SanchoNet. And as soon as the Conway hard fork happens on preview, pre-prod, and mainnet, these changes will be applied to the Dandelion endpoints for each of those networks as well. The demonstration, the proof of concept treasury tool, this is the project you're looking at on the page right here. And I'm making this demo video as we speak. So you can click around and get to know the tool. And then part of the funds are unaccounted for yet. We have about 40,000 ADA to continue doing research and development on how we, share how Dandelion works and how to deploy it. I think there's some really good work to do with documentation there, and we'd like to invite people to get involved. And then there's also some R&D around custom APIs. So as we've been building Andamio, we've been having some ideas for what kinds of custom services we might ask Dandelion node operators to provide if we were ever able to get the Dandelion network, to the scale that we originally envisioned it. But even for the immediate term, it's really helpful to be able to deploy whatever microservices we want just in the same deployment as some of these other services. So we're playing around with that. We're going to have a demo next month, and that's one of the spaces where R&D will continue for the rest of this year. So this work is ongoing. part of the budget, like I said, is allocated, and we're going to update the about page right here. So you can see, oh no, sorry. This is just an overview. But yeah, find us. If you want to get involved in this project, be sure to join the Gimbalabs Discord or drop by one of our public meetings. You can see those on the Gimbalabs calendar linked right here. Sorry, but I meant to click on the plan. Oh yeah, I was just looking at the plan. All right, now I see where I am. Sorry, we just built this like an hour ago. Um, so what's going to be added to this page is a budget section where we can see a high level breakdown. I just haven't had a chance to add that yet, but that will be live by the end of this week. What we can already see is that part of the budget is accounted for. And let's look at how. We can see the tokens that are in this treasury, a little less than 70,000 ADA and 70,000 gimbals. Great. When I connect a wallet, because I have a contributor token already in this wallet, I will be able to see the contributor dashboard. And on the dashboard, I'm able to see a list of projects to which I can commit. Now, these first three are examples of what Roberto will collect each month to keep running the servers and upgrading the network at each hard fork. That's he'll earn 2,000 ADA and 2,000 gimbals each month for providing that. And so that'll sum up to 24K ADA out of the 70K ADA right here. Each month, I'll take 500 ADA and 500 gimbals for project management, getting organized, running meetings, making sure that we're all up to speed on the project. And so you can see right here, the project management for May 2024 is no longer shown because that's the task I used to test the prototype. So now I'm going to take this one right here, deploying the prototype. That's done as of today. You can see it right here. I'm going to use this project as an example to demonstrate this tool for you. Now, once again, because I have a contributor token, I can see the dashboard, and now I'll be able to make a commitment to this project right here. You can preview the transaction. And for anybody who wants to learn a little bit more about how this works, I always recommend, trying to understand what's going on in the inputs and the outputs to a transaction. Let's sign for this guy. Okay. And we have to add, this is still a prototype, so some of the UI is still being built. We didn't implement a nice little like transaction confirmation screen yet. But you can see that under the hood, we have a successful transaction. And we'll just wait a moment for that to confirm. And so, Chris, this is the same process that you'll follow at Gimbalabs once you have that token, right? You can connect your wallet, go to the contributor dashboard, and find the commitment for the lesson that you wrote. I'm going to go over to my wallet for a second and switch which one is my app wallet because I have a reviewer token in a different wallet. So as soon as this transaction goes through, let's see how it's doing. Oh yeah, it did. Good. We can see good. We can see now there's one commitment in the treasury. I'm going to refresh the page just because I'm moving between two different roles right now. And so now I'm going to connect my wallet from that reviewer wallet, which has a reviewer token in it, which allows me to distribute this project commitment. Here's another space where the UI is not yet complete. We're still in the prototype phase, but the transactions are working really nicely. You can imagine I'd want to see some other things here. Who made this commitment? How many tokens are in the commitment, for example? But for now, I know this is the one that I just made, so I can distribute it. Okay. Once again, we can see it was a successful transaction because of the transaction hash here. And we will add some nice UI features to that over the next few weeks. But look at what just happened. These funds that came from Intersect were placed in this treasury where they can only be accessed by holders of a contributor token who then make commitments to specific projects that have been approved and added to the list. Let's look at that list again. I'll go back here. Okay, so now my contributor wallet has the ADA I just earned in it. Let's refresh so I can go back to my contributor role. And right here's this list. This list is managed by, in this case, just Roberto and me for now. And I've done all the work to make sure this is up here and live. But this is a governance question, right? How do we subdivide funds like these that come down from Intersect or from Project Catalyst or even from the broader Cardano treasury? How do we decide then how those get routed to smaller and smaller projects? And as we'll explore over the next few months, these projects can be uh, split multiple times, right? So we can take a larger pool of funds, split it up into a sub pool or a big project, and then subdivide those funds smaller and smaller until we get down to the individual commitment level. These are all of the questions that we're exploring right now, and we're excited to have this project as an opportunity to keep exploring these questions. Do you guys have any questions so far or details that I should add here?
All looks good.
Okay. Um, so yeah, we'll stop here for now with the intersect facing part. I hope this is a helpful demo that gets you thinking about some things. And if you have questions, just be in touch. You can reach out in the Gimbalabs Discord or in the Intersect Discord. My handle is my first name and last name, James Dunseith. You can find me anytime. Um, and you can also join us at public meetings. So be sure to check out the calendar or the Discord for that. Now we're going to keep going with the mesh part of things over here. Let's actually do a little work on this prototype right now. So I've got the project open in VS Code. I'm just going to run it locally. All right, so now I have the same project running on localhost. That's great. And this route right here, the results route, is empty. Okay, so let's think about what we might want to see in the results. I just made a transaction where I committed to a project, and then I made another transaction from another role, that of a reviewer who approved that that project was complete. Obviously, this is a much better system if it's not just one person committing to and approving things, but I'm just doing this as an initial demo for everybody. And we have a much longer track record at Gimbalabs where that data is going to be much more interesting to look at. But with this small set of results data, let's just play for a few minutes with how we might look at this data. Now, these funds are at one validator address, and the projects are actually at the same validator address. We call this the treasury. It holds both the funds for a set of projects and the approved list of projects themselves. When somebody makes a commitment, those funds go to an escrow contract. What's nice about this is just by watching the escrow contract address, we can learn a lot about what's happened in this system. So on the results page, I think the first thing we should do is just try to query the escrow address and see what it tells us. Let's try it. And Nelson, jump in anytime. You've been playing around a lot with how to parse data, and I know we're doing this for like maybe an intro to mesh view right here, but we can have some fun with this. So if you see something that I don't, just be sure to take us there.
Right.
Um, so I was just working. I'm on the results page. Where is that? Pages. Oh no, sorry. I used tabs on the index, right? Results. Let's make a results component. So, where's the plan? These are down here. Okay. Let's just duplicate the about component. This will be our results. All right. So we've got our results, just a nice empty component there, and we can start adding stuff. Now, this project is already using Maestro APIs under the hood. And so, and actually one step further, whenever possible, we're also using Mesh under the hood. So let's look at Mesh.js. Let's look at utilities, providers, Maestro, and this is address UTXO. So I can look at the address, the UTXOs that are already there. All right, I think Mesh isn't quite going to give me what I want because I need a transaction history. Okay, but that's okay. When possible, I like to use these mesh providers, but not every Maestro endpoint is accessible this way. So let's look at the Maestro docs. Let's want to go to Cardano. This is not transactions history. What's this one? No, this is just, yeah, that's not like for an address. I need the indexer API. Address transactions. That's what I want. Returns transactions in which the specified address spent or received funds. That's really good. So yeah, I'd like to use this endpoint in the application to query just all of the transactions in and out of, say, the escrow validator. Over here, we've already got a couple different queries. So here's an example. This one is using Maestro to decode some datum, for example. That's really convenient. So let's drop a new query in here. Fetch address transactions. Just trying to be lazy and grab a little boilerplate. Yeah, these are just very straightforward. Just want to check. I was using the server as well. No, let's just stay here. Okay, so we need the API key. Include that. And we're just going to change the endpoint to this one. Addresses. And this, I want to put the address here. So oh, let's just start with that. Super, just basic, pulling in the raw data. And I should be able to use, so if I set that up, now use query really shines. So this takes, here's another spot where it can be helpful to just look at some boilerplate. Right, so use query. Yeah, that's a good example. We'll just follow that. So I got to give it a key, the function, and this one, it doesn't have any dependencies, so we don't have to worry about the enabled part. This is going to be, give that a key in just a second, and we're going to use this. Let's rename that. Oops, good. Just the data to start. Now, what am I missing here? Why doesn't it like that? What's brackets? Use quote. Uh, I gotta check on. All right, I gotta look at how to grab a parameter here, and I was racing the clock. Okay, gonna pick up here next week. I'll have just the boilerplate ready, and we can start to play with this data. But I know we're also running out of time right now. So this is where we'll pick it up with some front end development, either in Plutus PBL or just next time we're together. I'll be working on this in the background and throw a few things up there. But yeah, for anybody who's checking this out, really excited to start talking about how we're using this Intersect grant um, with the Andamio prototype. And if you're interested in learning more, be sure to be in touch. All right. Thanks, everybody. See you soon.